Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of Thursday nights, 9 o'clock, Top 10 Pulp Culture on the Triple B Experience. I'm your host, Bubba Brewer, and we tonight are going to talk about our top 10 Marvel teams, good or bad. And we're going to have a couple honorable mentions, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to give it a little leeway, people. You could actually have the comic book versions or the MCU versions. So it's going to be like, because a lot of people there's a lot of teams out there in Marvel Comics. So, but we got the whole tripod of individuals coming on tonight to give their picks. Shane will be momentarily delayed. He popped in and he had to, do something for his son. He'll be back on. But I wanted to introduce everybody to the action figure guru, the pop culture icon, and all-knowing situations on what's going on in MCU and everything else, because that's just how he is. Everybody, welcome into the show as always. And I can't wait to hear his top 10 picks, because this guy here, when he does these picks, it's always outside the box. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show, our man Cable. Hi, Cable. How you doing?
Hey, not bad, Bubba. How about you?
Good. I do that like off the cuff, man, when I introduce you. So,
that's a great intro.
Well, thank you, because when we do these top 10s, I try to grasp at the knowledge on what sometimes you're going to do, but then you blow everything out of the water, and then sometimes it's always like the one time we did the top Marvel characters, yours is mostly villains. Like, I was surprised by all that, so I can only imagine. Yeah. But this was something that I wanted to do always. This one here is very hard, but there could be different variations of teams. I think me and you have more of a comic book concept, but you could add some MCU in there. Shane was a little bit, I don't want to throw him out there on Front Street, but he was a little perplexed. He thought it was team-ups, which gave me a great idea. Like, next week, we'll finish out the Marvel stuff for a while. It'll be our top 10 greatest Marvel team-ups. And team-ups is two superheroes or a villain and a hero, or two villains teaming up. It's got to be two. And that's the only thing that we can do. And we'll do that, and then we'll start into some DC stuff to try to spread the wealth there. Because I don't know a lot about, we can do independent comics, but I don't know about that. But yeah.
All I'm going to be able to contribute to indie comics is Spawn and Witchblade. That's the breadth of my knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. And then all the reboot stuff from other comic book companies that went, what about that little Japanese rabbit? and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Blasphemy, I guess, but I always forget kind of that they're comics, because my introduction was the cartoon. I think the cartoon is their most famous piece of media, maybe the original movie, but, I don't think of them when I think of comics. Shame on me.
We are going to do our top 10 toys, and that could be well, that could be anything. That could go from board games to figures to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just got to know how we do that. So how you been anyway? Besides,
good.
What do you? What'd you do? Buy like 17 more figures?
No, I'm just trying to think. Do I know enough about toys to do a countdown?
Yeah, I think you know. But those aren't toys; those are collectibles. That's two different things.
Well, that's true. That's how McFarlane skirts around being able to put action figures with rifles and guns in the toy stores.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. So, are you caught up? You said, in the green room, you were talking about that Alien show, which I have not seen yet. You and Shane have been discussing that for numerous weeks. I'm the last to get on the train. I haven't got on the train yet. So is that finished now, or is that just still going strong?
No, the season finale was last night, and it was masterful. I mean, it was not a letdown at all.
Oh, so there will be a season 2 then?
I haven't seen anything. I don't know if it's confirmed yet or not. I can't imagine the show not being a hit, especially with the fan base. It went back to its roots. This show takes place a couple years before the first Alien movie. It feels like it in a lot of places, but then you also get stuff that you've never seen before. Like there's a xenomorph attacking people on beaches and in the forest, and, so you're it's a love letter to the original Alien movie in its beginnings, but then you also have the really cool thing that I keep thinking of, Rogue One, where seeing, sand troopers for the first time. Well, not sand troopers, but the ones on the beach, and they're in the ocean.
Speaking of Rogue One, and I know I'm jumping from topic to topic. Did you see the trailer for the Mandalorian movie?
Well, yeah, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I wasn't impressed.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Boy, you just blew me right out of the fucking water. God damn. Why wasn't you impressed?
It didn't look bad. It just looked okay. And a little bland here and there. It seems like it's going to be very, very like all style, no substance. It
didn't look choppy. To me, it looked choppy. It looked so choppy, like different parts of the different parts of the trailer, and it just didn't make any sense. Like,
short of just the Mando doing Mando things, maybe. Which I also have to put this disclaimer out there. I have not watched season 3 of Mando yet either. I haven't been feeling Star Wars, and you guys were singing Andor season 2's praise, and everybody has. It was up.
Oh my god! Season 2 ending is it was the thing that captivated me and made me like, I wish they would redo all these last 3. I wish they would redo them all, because the actor who played in the last 3 trilogies says that that Solo should have never been killed. Luke shouldn't have been on a fucking mountaintop. Princess Leia shouldn't have been floating out in the air there. But I mean, I know she passed away, but it took away from the roots of the original. And I just don't understand when people direct that. Why wouldn't they have a scene where the original cast is on the Millennium Falcon doing something great? I mean, right there's $1 billion fucking there. I mean, I'm just some guy from Western Pennsylvania, you know what I mean? But hey,
how much of a shame? How much of a shame is it that after all those years you get the original cast back together, or not back together, but you start working on a storyline that involves the original cast, and you can't get the 3 of them in one frame together?
Yeah, exactly, Devil. And thanks for coming on. Right there, fucking Disney.
Right.
Fucking ruins a great thing.
What I feel about the Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, and then they took out Karana, which I did like her role, and they were going to spin that off. And now Carl Weathers has passed. That role is no longer, you know what I mean? And a couple weeks ago at that entertainment place, that Eddie's Entertainment in Pittsburgh, the Wayne character, the Wayne guy who actually was the guy who plays the Mandalorian, was at that place in the afternoon before I got there. He was signing autographs. Like there was big cutouts. Yeah. Because that is John Wayne. That's John Wayne's grandson.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah. I mean, no offense. I wish he could talk, because, I mean, it's Pedro's voice. But, I mean, no offense. Pedro's in fucking everything. Like,
yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, well, hopefully they got another trailer to actually fucking sway you a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I did see the Jabba the Hutt look like his son looked like he was fucking buff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, there was that, and I absolutely love the part where they attack the AT-AT walker, and they're on the cliff. That looks phenomenal. The way, the effects and everything on that were great. But that was really the only thing that got me hyped during the trailer. It's
Well,
just,
I don't know. I don't know what the storyline is going to be, but I know Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. I mean, look, it's going to be, it'll be something good. I mean, but now they're also filming the Ryan Gosling Starfighter movie. That's going to be all new characters or whatever. I don't know how that's going to be, but I mean, he's a good actor, so we shall see. But that'll be like a couple years from now.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm just so out of touch with Star Wars at the moment. It's not what it was. And things don't always have to stay the same.
right.
And they're never going to. That's just the way of the world. But it's not what I fell in love with as a Star Wars fan. And if people like it, that's fine. But they have every right to. But for me, where it's at right now is just not what I enjoy.
Well, let me ask you a question before I change gears and go in low one. Now, have you seen the season 2 of Andor?
No, that's what I mean. You guys said it was.
You have to watch that. It's slow, but there's like 5 episodes that I don't know who the fucking Rotten Tomato guy is, sits in the chair, but he gave them like 90s, like boom. Every episode was better.
They won Emmys 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's highly touted. I'm really picky with TV shows these days because I don't feel like committing to that much time to something. I prefer.
I can't commit to anything except for Steelers.
I mean, between football and everything else.
Well, hey.
Well, we don't need to.
I know, but I did text you and I said, "Good game." And it was whoever fucking wanted it. It was just a.
Well, the Patriots didn't fucking want it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, and like Devil said, good game, Cable. I mean, look, I mean, your quarterback is a little faster than what people thought. Like he got almost 50 yards. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Going into the game, he was our number 2 leading rusher on the team, and he's like in the top, I don't know, quarter or whatever you want to say, top 10 for most quarterback stats for this year this season. 3 games in. I think he is the future, but we got to get parts around him. We got to get him aligned. That's, I could not believe how inefficient we were against your defense in the first half, as depleted as your roster was on the defensive side of the ball. I thought he was going to be running and throwing all over you guys, and we couldn't score.
Well, I mean, the first quarter and about maybe 5 minutes into the second quarter, we were like, and I said this on all the Steeler Dynasty show, and even when me and Mark and Shane tagged up Tuesday before he left for Ireland, he's already drinking Guinness and having a good time. Like that was the Steelers of what I wanted to see. That was the Steelers on paper. And then all of a sudden you're getting fucking 350 yards of total offense and we can't stop you. And then fucking Hunter Henry's getting fucking 9 receptions and 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like Josh McDaniel just fucking went into the fucking locker room, took a towel, wiped off the fucking dust of your fucking playbook from fucking 20 years. The same shit with the tight ends. Is that, I mean,
Hunter Henry is not far away from surpassing Gronk on Patriots stats. He's like the 3rd overall for receptions now, 2nd for touchdowns.
Have a good year now. I mean, nobody can stop him. So, hey, Gene, what's up? Making sauce. But, yeah, I mean, if you can be competitive in your division,
which
I don't want to see you guys
1-1 in the division right now. Or no, I'm sorry. We're 1-0 in the division. So,
yeah, I don't want to fucking see you again. I'm fucking good now. Christmas is early. I'm good. I mean, you've been beating our ass for years, and I had to fucking deal with it. I mean, and it was just like it was a game we won, and then I had to sit back and I'm like, we won it. I don't care how, because people were just, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Right. Like I said last night on the Roundtree table fucking show that I was on, but I was like, I don't care. It could be 100-99. As long as we got the 100, who cares? We got a victory. But
yeah, there's some teams where that's all you want. And then there's some teams where you win and it feels like a moral loss. And you're like, oh boy, I don't feel good about the future. I mean, we squeaked by there. So, that's the beauty of football, I guess, or the downfall of it sometimes. But we play Carolina this week. So I'll be real interested to see how that goes because Carolina stomped Atlanta out of nowhere.
I know.
They were 0-2. Then they put 30 on Atlanta. Atlanta can't score a single point. So I don't know what we're walking into.
Every game, I don't see dominating teams. Like the Ravens are fucking. I don't see dominating teams like. I know we're getting on a football tangent right now, but I mean the Ravens 225 yards. Gave up. So I don't care. Their nose tackle. Their nose tackle.
The Eagles almost got their ass kicked by the Rams. They had to cheat to actually win that game. So.
And I don't. Between me and you, I don't think Buffalo's that good either. I mean, I know we got other people on the
Buffalo, I believe in.
I don't believe in Buffalo. I just think it's all Josh Allen. But how much?
Well, it is, but it's Josh Allen. And they have a solid defense. But when you're that good, that's kind of all you need. And I'm not ever going to compare Josh Allen to Tom Brady. But you look at what Tom Brady did. He didn't have playmakers other than Moss.
No, he had fucking robotic arms and legs and.
So if you have enough talent and everything else is, kind of level to a point, you can make it work. But
Tom Brady is a fucking warlock that doesn't age. like Gronk. I heard an interview with Gronk saying they asked him about Tom Brady coming back, and he said if Tom Brady could stand upright in a line, Tom Brady is better than half the quarterbacks in the league right now, as long as he didn't have to take a hit.
Yeah, it's up here. That's what Tom Brady's biggest weapon always was. He could dissect your defense right across the line.
I fucking hate him. But what he's doing now? He's fucking owning part of the team, and then he goes and fucking does the announcing, and he's getting the inside fucking track. How fucking legal is that?
Yeah,
motherfucker.
That seems odd to me, that whole setup, and I know they don't want to make an enemy out of Tom Brady, and I mean, like it or not, he's the GOAT for now. Probably forever.
No one's gonna take that fucking record. Nobody. There's nobody that's gonna win. You know what I mean?
The Chiefs are close. The Chiefs already. Well, they won 3. Patrick Mahomes has 3 rings already. He's been to 5 Super Bowls.
He's done.
Very well could be. Very well could be. But he might be the closest.
He's not allowed for team practices or production meetings.
Okay,
he's probably getting in there. He's probably got like fucking binoculars, and he's looking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I see this." So I got to tell who's the coach of the Raiders, Pete Carroll, what's going on.
Well, I just heard a story that while we got time, might as well share it.
We're chilling here.
Yeah, Peyton Manning back in his prime, which, boy, did I used to think I hated Peyton Manning, and then Eli came along. But Gruden, I think, he was on a podcast somewhere, and he said, he was talking about how cerebral Peyton Manning was as a quarterback. And, of course, Omaha, all that bullshit from later on.
This is a good one.
When he was...
That's right. Yep, that's true. Thanks, Gene.
I don't know who he's talking about.
I know who he's talking about.
But Peyton Manning, before he went to play a team, he would, and you're talking the early days of the internet, so I don't know how easy this information was to get. Social media didn't exist. He would find out the secondary. He would find out their wives and their girlfriends' names and name audibles after them. And then all of a sudden, to get in their head, so he's yelling out their woman's name as an audible, and it just fucked with guys so bad.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome. It's devious. Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, I played football in high school, and then somebody, you know what I mean? Hey, I did your mom. I'm like, fuck you. And, stuff like that. I mean, high school football is a little different, but yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was It was a game. Just winning up there is something I have not seen many times in my life. So, and I know you guys took the last 2 seasons, so we had to go at one. So, who do you guys play this week?
Carolina.
Well, that's a toss-up game there.
Yeah, I don't know what we're walking into because I don't know who we are as a team yet. Still, 3 games in, we went down to Miami, which is always a tough place for us to play. We got a W in Miami. We beat Tua for the first time since he's been on Miami's team. But it was
I don't think he's a good quarterback at all.
No, I don't either. He was surprising people his first couple of years.
Yeah.
Even though you kind of had an idea of him coming out of college, I think he was still surprising people with his abilities.
Well, hey,
but then
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna let you finish, and I got a question for you here when you're done. Go ahead.
All those concussions he's had, is he just gone already? Maybe he would have been, but he's had to come out. He's had so many concussions in his, couple of years he's been playing. So
Afton said he's delicate. But speaking of concussions, do you think when May went back on the turf and smacked the back of his head that he was a little groggy?
Probably. Yeah,
I think he had a concussion, but what do I know?
I can't believe they didn't check him out at all. That shocks me.
Yeah, because then he threw a pick like what, right? Like a play after that or something?
It was like 2 plays after he got taken to the ground.
Because when you bounce your head off that, it's just tremendous. You know what I mean? Even if you have a helmet,
they need to start sending football players your way to train them because I've fallen quite a few times, and I always remember to tuck my chin when I go down.
Well, that's
That's just I know how to take a bump thanks to you, I guess.
Back when you were like, wow. Anyone in the NFL tell him that one? Oh, no, that's funny. Okay, everybody, welcoming to the show now. He's the host of West Virginia Mountaineer Mafia, my co-host on Steeler Dynasty podcast, and he comes on and gives his picks, and we're going to talk. We're waiting for him so we can actually get into this Peacemaker a little bit here before we give our top 10 picks. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the show, special field correspondent, taxi driver, home builder, DIY kind of guy. Here he is, Shane Stodmiller. Hi, Shane.
Hey, ready to talk some Peacemaker?
Okay, because we were killing time. We were killing some time here. So
Bubba's killing me.
No, it was. We were talking a little bit Steelers Patriots, and then I asked him, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. Did you see the new trailer for the Mandalorian movie?
I did, and it's getting a lot of flack, but I'm excited about it. I guess I'm a weirdo because I'm sold. I want to see it.
Well, ask Cable what he thought of the trailer.
What'd you think of it?
I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
Me and Bubba were split.
Hey, Smoke, what's up, brother? How you doing?
It looked like a continuation of the TV show, and I think if they would have done this, if we would have saw this instead of a season 3, and it would have ended where season 2 ended, we would have been over the moon for it.
Yeah.
And Yoda or Baby Yoda, Grogu, whatever the F his name is, and they end up separated. That would build into something that we actually were like vested in, like, oh my gosh, are they going to get back together? What's going to happen? That people would be clamoring for, but I think they waited a while. It
does feel like forever since, and I didn't even watch the 3rd season.
Yeah,
but it just feels like forever.
It's been a long time waiting, believe me, because I'm all current in that, and I'm all current with all my Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys on that trailer because I just saw it yesterday. But now we're all caught up on Peacemaker because I've been hearing a lot of speculation that Peacemaker is going to show some major cameos. That's going to be crazy. I heard. Did you guys hear that same thing?
Yeah.
I saw some headlines. I'm trying to stay away from it because the terrible thing about this stuff is you want to be excited about it and you want to know stuff, but then they tell you everything.
I know. Social media sucks. Like I just try to fast forward stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to hear anything. You know what I mean? Because So what was your guys'? I'll start with you, Cable, and then I'll go with Shane. What was your the last episode? What did you think about the last episode?
I loved it. I thought it was an excellent episode. Just the direction it went, Rick Flag Sr., him and Peacemaker, and Hardcore doing what she can to save Peacemaker, and having him, like, the whole thing where she had him book him in, so there was a record he was there, saved his ass, and the whole Eagly subplot I thought was awesome.
I mean, Michael Rooker got his ass beat, man. I mean, they fucking just crucified him.
Yeah,
and that made him Eagly the spirit eagle, I guess. He's the top eagle and has mystical powers.
Eagle.
Yeah.
You're the prime eagle.
Poor Michael Rooker. Now, I mean, I know he's not Native American, but he did play a good crazy Indian. I mean, but
that was Bubba.
What's that, Shane?
It was appropriation. He was saying he was Native American. He wasn't.
Right.
Well, I mean, he's always in James Gunn's movies, no matter what. And probably you'll see him next year in another character role somewhere else.
James Gunn spoke on that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him, and he said, because this is twice now we've seen him in different characters in continuity, and he said he's just going to keep casting them. So,
well, he wrote the second Superman movie's got their villain. It's Brainiac, and I believe that. What?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
is that confirmed or is that a rumor though? I mean, that was my thought. Anyway.
I'm just gonna go with rumors because I don't get nothing concrete anyway. Because I don't know, but I believe that I believe somebody from that movie from Superman's coming out at the end of Peacemaker. I don't know who, but I also heard. Now I think, and I've been speculating that whole parallel world is not as fucking good and as nice and as glamorous as it is. I'm gonna say that universe is fucked up.
Yeah.
You guys agree with me?
Yeah. That seems like a trajectory for that storyline.
Yeah. Shane, what did you think about that last episode?
Grass isn't always greener, they should have named it, because I think that's exactly what happens. He goes over there, but it was great how Judo Master kind of followed him into that realm, and the way they ended it was good.
He reminds me of a fucking little twerp that you just in school, or somebody that was just a little asshole.
Yeah,
but he can kick ass though.
I know, and eat Cheetos, and then he's got his fucking car with the Cheetos fucking steering wheel cover.
You know who the best character is in all this whole series?
Who?
It's Vigilante, the Vigilante guy.
Oh yeah, he's amazing, and we haven't even seen him do anything yet.
He hasn't done anything. He hasn't.
Right, just his banter is hilarious.
And here's the speculation, guys, that the Peacemaker in that parallel universe, what I was reading and watching stuff, is he's gay.
Well, I mean, he could be, but he was with Hardcore.
Because when she said something about, oh, you just want to check your curiosity again. That's what she said in one of the lines.
Ah.
And that's why he's doing drugs. You know what I mean? He's doing a lot of drugs, maybe to mask a lot of stuff. But I just think that world is just crazy. But I mean, and I don't know much about the Peacemaker's history in DC comic books. I do not know that. I mean, he was in Charlton Comics, I believe, and then he went to DC.
And then it kind of like when they merged, they kind of inherited that and Blue Beetle and.
Yeah, well, I've heard the Blue Beetle might make an appearance also. I don't know.
Huh.
So, and I don't know, but there's going to be. I think they have 10 episodes. I think 10 this week. Like right now, is probably number 6.
October 8th, last episode. So.
It'll be around before you know it. So, but okay. Well, and we'll bring you guys what we know next week on this week's episode. And I know I want to get into some MCU stuff quick before we go to our top 10. and because Tom Holland had a concussion due to his stunt work as Spider-Man and busted his fucking head open the other day. Did you guys know about that?
Heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising they would, at this point, let him do, I don't know what degree of stunt work, but I know that was one of the things they liked about him when they cast him was he sent a video in of himself doing all sorts of flips and everything. And, he was one of the actors doing more of his own stunts throughout the different MCU movies he was a part of. But there's so much on the line, and, it's such a high, it's made so much money. I'm surprised they would try to jeopardize that by letting him do his own stuff.
Well, I heard it was also another. It was a female actor too. It was both of them or two of them or something. But I try to stay away from that stuff because they're filming and you got people fucking with their fucking phones filming shit.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, I'm like I know John Berthenol was this week with the Punisher doing his role. Ruffalo's coming in as the Hulk, but I wanted to get your guys' take. They're putting up the stuff. They're putting more people out there instead of surprises. But the guy who plays Tombstone, he was in a DC TV show, and he was the voice of Tombstone in the comic books, or in the cartoon. So, are you happy with that, Cable?
I love it. I hate that we know it, but I love it.
Sorry.
Like you said, I mean, it's not your fault. I saw that a few days ago, I think, and I would love if they would just let us be surprised. And I understand to a degree why they do this stuff, because they want to put stuff out there that's going to bring you in.
Right.
And he'd probably be in the trailer, I'm guessing, anyway, at some point. So maybe, it was never to be a surprise in the movie. And I guess there's also a line of thinking that if all your best parts of your movies are just surprise casting and surprise characters popping up, then you don't have that good of a movie anyway. But yeah, I'm excited for Tombstone. Back to the street level.
Now I'm getting the Hulk controversy again. Gene, I agree with you on that again. And Devil says Eric Bana was the better one. That movie was.
Disagree.
Well, it's all we're all well. Okay. Well, speaking of that, we're gonna get into some stuff here. We're gonna it'll be a little controversial, maybe. I don't know. This is very hard. I'm always about. I collect a lot of team stuff except for the Incredible Hulk, and I do get a lot of solo issues, but I do like team concept books. I always do. I think, you can't win nothing without the team. And Devil said it. He's kidding. It's Ferrigno. But we are going to pick our top 10 Marvel comic books or MCU, because Afton said last night, and Shane was, I'll let the MCU teams get it populated. Very good story. Very good storyline. So we're going to do our top 10. Could be good or bad. Doesn't matter. It's our opinion. It's our picks. You guys at home can play along too. We're going to go with 10, and we're going to get 2 honorable mentions if I could pull that out. That might be hard, but I will definitely try. My top 10 team actually is probably the third variation. They had a big storyline in the comic books where it was called the Act of Vengeance storyline, where all these criminals would go off on different superheroes that they went against, and Cable knows what I'm talking about. And they come together and they took down the Avengers one by one. Hercules got put into a coma. Jarvis lost his eye, and Baron Zemo and the Masters of Evil is my number 10 pick. So, Cable?
My number 10, I don't have a lot to say about it. It's just a classic team. Jack Kirby goodness from the Silver Age, the Inhumans.
Ooh.
I think they've earned a top 10 spot just from their history in Marvel Comics.
Okay. Shane?
Looking at my list, and my number 10 should be higher. Illuminati. You got.
Oh shit! Way to go, Shane.
Yeah.
Okay. I think is Namor in there?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Prince Namor is. Yeah, I watched a video on Prince
Fantastic.
Namor,
I mean-
and he is such a badass. Like Prince Namor is a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Bad motherfucker.
You know, you have
Right.
other ones that I've seen in there, like Captain Britain and all that stuff, but those are the ones that I think of when I think of Illuminati. So
That was a good pick, Shane. Real
Most
good.
of them.
Wow, that's the first pick you did. Fucking pulling out all the stops.
yep.
Okay, my number 9 is it was an original foursome. Okay, it was Silver Surfer, Prince Namor. Speaking of Namor, Doc Strange, and the Incredible Hulk. Now there's different variations, but I'm going to go with that team, and I'm going to go with the original Defenders.
Okay.
Take that, Netflix.
Take out Netflix. No, that I don't even that it's not Netflix one. It's the and then they got Valkyrie. You know, yeah. I'm trying to get that series, but number 1's like a little pricey. But anyway, yeah. So you're number 9, Cable.
I'm going to follow in the footsteps of the commenter there. X-Force. Number 9 is X-Force. But actually, I'm going to flip it. I like the 2007, 2010 incarnation. That was like a Black Ops version of the team with Wolverine and Archangel. And so that's my number 9.
Okay. Fantastic Four. Okay, Afton. Shane. Thanks for
I'm
playing
going
along,
back
guys.
to like Netflix back in the day before, you know, Marvel went into like where they're at now. But you know, Luke Cage and the Daniel Rand kind of team up thing. Heroes for Hire.
Okay. Because that incorporates a little bit more with Colleen Wing and okay.
Right. And Misty Knight and you know.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Shane's coming up with some good ones.
And
yeah, he is.
Heroes for Hire too.
What's that?
Was the Hulk in Heroes for Hire?
No. The Heroes for Hire were more a street. You're right with the street type vigilante. Yeah. They added a couple more. And they expanded it in like a couple years ago.
Was in there.
Yeah.
Black Cat.
Yeah. Okay. My number 8. We just saw the movie, but I'm not basing it on the MCU movie. I'm basing it on Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. I'm basing it on Ben Grimm, Johnny Storm, Sue Storm, Reed Richards. The original Fantastic Four is my number 8.
Okay.
So and people probably thought that had been higher. Yeah, and I'm getting all your guys' stuff out there, guys, in chat. Guys, thanks for participating. Gene says number 8 is West Coast Avengers. And Devil says New Avengers. And there's so many, and you can have different variations of the Avengers for your team. So number 8, Cable.
I'm going to piggyback off of Shane earlier. Illuminati is my number 8.
Oh, wow.
They're, the same thing Shane said. I love that group. I love the pulling together of the greatest minds in the Marvel universe. Kind of working in the shadows, pulling the strings a little bit. Without the Illuminati, we don't have World War Hulk, and so on and so forth. So I think that's a very cool modern team.
And that's a good one. And Afton, yes, Shield would count. Would count, yeah. And actually, speaking of Shield, is the MCU is making the Shield Agents of Shield series canon in the new Vision Quest. I'm sorry, Cable. I just fucking what? I like Shields. I liked Agents of Shield. I loved it. I watched I got all 7 seasons. I've seen them all. I
didn't make it past season 3, and that was like at the height. Like that was, I couldn't. It felt like 2-bit just knockoff channel trying to do superheroes. The only thing I liked about it all was Quake.
Well, yeah, but also too they had time travel in the last 2 seasons. They brought the Kree in. I mean, yeah, it was good. I thought it was really good. But
it looked cheap to me, which is also part of the reason I didn't like it. And that's not necessarily storytelling reasons, but They didn't have the budget for the story they were trying to tell, and to me,
it
didn't
great.
look great.
I try to finish stuff out. That's crazy, like me. So Shane,
It's not very creative, but I have to have the Thunderbolts. Number 8.
MCU or comic book?
Comic book.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
There was only
more comic heavy than I expected.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to go. I did straight comic books for this. I researched just comics for this one.
Okay. Nice.
I told you to go to. I gave you some schooling.
Gave me an assignment.
Okay. Well, my number 7. They had they were out a couple years ago. Okay. And on his team was Elektra, Doc Strange, Venom, Punisher, and Conan the Barbarian. And my number 7 is Savage Avengers. My God. Savage Avengers. It was like 21 or 22 issues. You know what I mean? And then they have like Conan and the Punisher drinking beer and shit, and Conan trying to kill people and the Punisher trying to kill people. So that's my number 7. Cable?
My number 7 is the Dark Avengers. I love the idea. It's kind of just a recycled idea from the Thunderbolts, but I love the iterations that they went with. Bullseye masquerading as Hawkeye. That you can't top that. Norman Osborn is the lead in the Iron Patriot suit.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. So yeah, that's my number 7. That's such a fun idea and plot.
Devil says Defenders. Afton says X-Force. Shane.
I have to go back to the 90s for this comic. I'm just hoping they make a movie of this. And I know Bubba, Cable, I don't know if you're a big fan of this bunch of just castaways, but I'm thinking Midnight Suns.
Ooh, they might, and they're talking about making a movie out of that, Shane.
Uh-huh.
I actually have the first appearance of them. What I mean?
92 or the Ghost Rider, or what is that?
Oh yeah, Ghost Rider. Yes, Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Blaze, Ghost Rider with Danny Ketch, because then they were brothers after a while.
Yeah.
That's Devil's number 6.
Uh-huh.
So my number 6 has its origin in first appearance in X-Men 120 and 121. I have 121. I don't have 120. I have the whole volume. I think I have volume 1 complete. I have volume 2 and 3 complete also. But I'm going with the Canadian super team of Alpha Flight is my number 6.
Nice.
And Avengers is my 7. So, Cable?
My number 6, I'm going to ride your tailcoats, Bubba, is Masters of Evil. Like you said, I love the storyline that you brought up, the comic arc. It's just Silver Age fun. The roster, the original lineup. I'm still waiting on Hasbro to make a Melter figure.
Oh, yeah.
But I just love the Island of Misfit Toys type villains, and I enjoy that era of comic books. So that's my number 6.
Okay. Yeah, I love Alpha Flight too. They need to make a movie of that. Shane, you're number 6.
Secret Avengers.
Ooh, that's a good one. Run by Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers ran that, not Captain America.
Yeah.
I have that whole series. I think it's 1 to 35. And I'm here to be honest with you, because I don't lie. I have them, but I never got a chance to read them. I have the whole collection, but I haven't read. I have so many comic books. I just haven't had a chance to read everything. But that's a good one too.
Uh-huh.
And the artwork, the covers are really good too, and they're not cheap to get.
It's not going back too far either. It's kind of more the storyline's a little more modern and it just doesn't feel as old. I didn't want everything to be back in this like 1978, 1982, 1970.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes you got to go back in the 70s. Sometimes, and that's where I'm going with my number 5. This lineup here is the one that rejuvenated, and it's a shame that he got killed in like 2 issues, but he did come back. And Cable's thinking about where I'm going. You see somebody who is part of a team but didn't want to be part of a team. I'm going with Byrne and Claremont's run of the Uncanny X-Men as my number 5, with Banshee, even with Sunfire, even though he was a hothead, he didn't stay long, but also too, Thunderbird was, I love Thunderbird. I think they killed him way too quickly. But also too, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Wolverine. That arc of X-Men stuff is good. I was going to go with the Jim Lee version, but the blue or the gold, but I just figured I'd go with the original at number 5. So, Cable?
My number 5, keeping it in the Silver Age, a great foil to a great team is Brotherhood of Mutants.
I'm
torn. The original is the original. It's hard to beat the original, especially when it's led by Magneto. But I think of Mystique's version a lot, also with Blob and Pyro and Avalanche, because that was a lot of the characters that were featured on the animated series. 20 years later, 15 years later. But either incarnation doesn't matter. But Brotherhood of Mutants is my number 5.
Oh, it's a good one. Shane, you're number 5?
West Coast Avengers,
Okay.
Hawkeye, Mockingbird. I mean, right there, that's story right there, because they have some shit going on.
Generation X. I think I don't have any Generation X comics at all.
I have some figures with Gen X.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised nobody said Great Lakes Avengers yet. But maybe that's Bubba's number 1.
No. I have the comic books, but no. No. Number 4. Number 4 is, I do like the original team. I think the original team is good with Charlie 27. Okay. But during the Valentino days of drawing it in volume 1, it was 1/62. I used to love that comic book, the Guardians of the Galaxy with Vance Astro, when he got the shield in I think issue 25, he got the Captain America shield. And Charlie 27 was part of that team. So, you had Starhawk and Guardians of the Galaxy, not Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon. I didn't, and Gamora in that. I didn't pick that team. I picked the other guys because I just liked it. So that's my number 4. Strike Force is 5, and Devil Says Illuminati. So, Cable, you're number 4.
My number 4, I'm so excited to talk about this one. Even though it's only number 4, this might be the one I'm the most excited to talk about. I think it's the epitome of what comics, when they were the absolute most fun. My number 4 is the Sinister Six. I love Doc Ock rounding up. They introduced, it was all his first battles, Spider-Man's first battles. Everybody that he defeated one-on-one, Doc Ock rounds them up and makes a team out of them to try and take down Spider-Man. Yeah. And of course, the reason that they're not successful is kind of almost a meta reason why so many teams and battles fail, because they try to take them on one-on-one, which is like, why did you even put the team together? But it's another example of Silver Age silliness. It's some of Spider-Man's greatest villains that aren't symbiote and goblins and things like that. And I love the character designs. I love the time, the era when this was made. So
it's a good pick.
That's,
they need to put that into the movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Shane, you're number 4. I'm sorry.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I'm not picking the original team with Major Victory and Yondu and Starhawk. I'm talking about the movie. I'm being a cheese. I just, that last movie that they had was such a, I mean, it just hit you in the feels. Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Adam Warlock, Gamora. Come on, Groot. How can you not go wrong?
That's a good pick. A good pick. Okay, there's different variations of this, but I'm going to go with the Guardians as number 1 for Afton. I'm going to go with, there's could be different variations of the Avengers. It could have been Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye, but I didn't do that based on, because I have the volume 1. I have all these volumes. I believe the Avengers. I believe Captain America has always been the leader of the Avengers, no matter what. But I'm going to go with the Avengers. But I'm going to throw a couple storylines in there. I liked it when Star Fox was with the Avengers, and Monica Rambeau was with the Avengers, and She-Hulk. And during that time, it was like 224 to like 240. You know what I mean? And Captain America was there, and then because Stark was in jail and all that shit. So, but yeah, my number 3 is the Avengers. I mean, I have so many volumes of Avengers. It's whatever. So we're I kind of both. Gene, some people did kind of both because Afton said that yesterday, so I let it ride. So my number 3 is the Avengers. Any team, probably. So, Cable, your number 3?
My number 3 is the first family of Marvel. I think they deserve to be in the top 3. Fantastic Four, Marvel's first super team that they ever put out to try and battle the sales of the Justice League from their competitor. They're timeless, and they've only gotten better over time. Honestly, you start with all the Silver Age space sci-fi stuff, and then you get into the last 20 years when Jonathan Hickman took over, and the stuff that man wrote in that book is just phenomenal. So, number 3, Fantastic Four.
Okay, Shane.
I went a little more modern. I went Uncanny Avengers with Captain America, Havoc, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Wolverine. I think Rogue's in there.
Ooh, yeah. You were doing your homework there, Shane.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, good pick. I have that series too. Oh, right on. Okay, number 2. Spider-Man. Wolverine. Ghost Rider. And Joe Fixit, the Gray Hulk, is the Fantastic Four. They didn't do it a lot, but that team up right there is my number 2 because that cover is iconic. When they tagged up, it was iconic. They did a sequel many years later, not as good as the original. I think Arthur Adams drew the cover, I believe. And and those 4 together at that time, they were so fucking popular. So that's when they put them into that storyline, and they became the new Fantastic Four. That'll be next week, Gene. That'll be next week. The Marvel team ups. So, Cable, you're number 2.
My number 2. Everybody could probably guess. My top 2 from what I haven't mentioned so far But when I think of the beginnings of comics, not the beginning, but the height of comics, and I think of Marvel, Avengers is all the characters I love to think of. I like all the classic lineups. I do like the 2000s lineup where you had Wolverine and Spider-Man in the Avengers and Luke Cage and everything. But I love the original lineup, which, a few issues in, Hulk was gone anyway. But then
gone after 2,
yeah, Captain America comes in and he brings in Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So just that era, the 60s Avengers I really like.
And Black Knight, Dane Whitman. I like Dane Whitman as an Avenger. I have his first appearance in 148. So,
and who wasn't an Avenger at this point? Also,
yeah, that's true. Well, the 3 of us wasn't, but anyway, we try to be. But anyway, that was a good pick. Shane, you're number 2.
I have to go with the old school, the original X-Men.
Oh.
The original X-Men with Iceman and
Angel and Beast, Marvel Girl,
and the Beast before he got blue.
The 60s, the 60s.
Okay,
before he turned pretty blue.
Okay, right on. Okay, Shane, you're getting a passing grade.
I know. Smart here.
Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to go with 2 honorable mentions. Both these teams have Nova, Richard Rider in these. I was a big fan of the New Warriors when it came out in the 90s. I have that whole series. I'm a big fan of Nova. I have his first appearance. I have the first volume 1, volume 2, I think volume 3. I'm a big Nova fan. Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys knew that. And I don't talk about it too much, but also too, the Annihilators. That was my honorable mention. And I think, Devil wrote that on there. So that's my honorable mention because they had Gladiator, they had Beta Ray Bill. I mean, Afton says Avengers. So my number 1 is probably, I was happy that it came back, but it only lasted 10 issues and they just canceled it. But also too, hey Roy, what's up, brother? Midnight Suns. Hey, what's going on? Hopefully to see you soon. But my number 1, because I feel that him as a leader, he's just a notch below Captain America in the leadership skills because he learned everything from Cap. And I have the miniseries when he tries, he gets sent out because Vision takes all over the fucking computers and they fuck him over, and then he wants the expansion. So my number 1 team, leading with Hawkeye, Rhodey as Iron Man, Tigra, Wonder Man in his red jacket, so, and then actually Moon Knight was part of that in the early issues. The Wasp, Vision, Spider-Woman. I didn't like Force Works. I thought that was fucking terrible. But my number 1 team of all time in Marvel is the West Coast Avengers. And I have that whole series. I wish that they would get it right, and I was so mad when they canceled that title. It ran for 102 issues. So, okay, that's mine. Cable, your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions are Guardians of the Galaxy, the mid-2000s run with Adam Warlock and Bug and Mantis and Star-Lord and Rocket.
Gotcha.
And the other one, little blip on the radar in the history of Marvel Comics, but the Cabal, that was the foil to the Illuminati, probably the greatest super villain team of all time. Dr. Doom, Loki, Emma Frost, Norman Osborn.
I knew you were going to do like villains, man. Nothing surprised. Well, I do get surprised, but okay, right on.
Yeah. So I think that, and Namor was on that team too, and he was like a double agent at the same time he was working for the Illuminati. So, perfect counterpoint to the Illuminati. I couldn't have one without at least mentioning the other. But my number one, if anybody's guessing, I didn't mention any iterations of this. Me being a 90s kid, this is in my DNA as a superhero fan growing up when I did. It's got to be the X-Men. It's got to be the Jim Lee era.
Okay.
Blue and gold teams. Either one, doesn't matter. Any iteration. Yeah, the animated series, the comics. That was one of the things that I thrived on as a kid. So that's my number one.
Good pick. I bought when I came out, I bought so many number ones. It's so over mass produced. It's
The number one is the highest selling comic of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I bought like 2 or 3. Now you get them in $1 bins. You know what I mean? I got number one graded at like a 9 point. I got it somewhere in my lovely situation over here. I do like Jim Lee as an artist. X-Men, Superman, Batman, whatever he draws, I like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's good.
To tag on to that real quick, I would follow that up with the John Byrne era. That one, yeah, I mean, that was probably some of the best storytelling in comics ever was during that time period. So,
well, that issue 95, I mean, and then the uncanny giant size in 95, and they didn't think that was going to be like all those international characters in that comic. They didn't think it was going to, but it did. It worked. That's a good pick. Real good pick. Okay, Shane, if you have honorable mentions, if not, that's okay too.
I'm just going to have X-Force as my honorable mention, but
okay.
My number one, okay, you got to go back to leaded gas. Men wore hats when they're outside.
Oh, wow.
Ashtrays were everywhere, even in airports and restaurants. But Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, man, they made a beautiful thing, and it was called the original Avengers. And it's Iron Man, Ant-Man, Hulk, Thor, Wasp, Captain America. Those are the OGs right there.
Okay, right on. That was a good list. You guys
agree more.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, I just went West Coast. I wanted to get some sun.
I had West Coast at number 5. So
I just love. I mean, because that was
a good one.
In the 90s.
I just put it higher.
In the 90s for me, man, buying comic books was. I mean, like I just went to the comic book store today, like, and I know I didn't buy as much in my box as I should because due to the, pinching my penny because my life. But there is so many books there, and Marvel's doing like mini series now, like it's just ridiculous. So, but yeah, that was good. So Shane actually come up with the concept. He thought it was this week. We're gonna do one more Marvel top 10, and we're gonna do Marvel team ups. Okay, one hero and another hero, or two villains. Or a hero and a villain. Sometimes that does happen. And I'm sure Cable probably is going to do like 6 of those scenarios because he probably could think. But that'll be the last one. That'll be the last one of the Marvel stuff for a while because then we'll go into DC and we'll do some other stuff because DC, I am not that knowledgeable. And I couldn't come up with 10 DC teams to save my life, I don't think. And that would be definitely, I'd have to do some homework on that myself once we get down to that pasture. So, that'll be next week, the top 10 Marvel team-ups of all time, in our opinion. That's what we'll do next week. And then we'll still find out what's going on with Peacemaker and if any other pulp culture stuff comes around, and we'll just shoot the shit like we usually do. So is that cool with you guys?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Shane, you got your show done tonight, or you already did your show?
I did it, man. No one was in the house. It was like crickets. We had like 5 or 10 people.
No.
Usually we have 20, but not so much tonight.
Well, we'll be ready Sunday at 9:00. Steelers Dynasty podcast. We will do a live stream out in Ireland. I want to say, I don't know if you guys know this, but I want to say, and to everybody that's ever watched a video on this Triple B Experience channel, we just went over 100,000 views on this channel. So I want to thank everybody and anybody that had any part of this. And I want to put it out there too. The Steelers Dynasty podcast is almost at 200,000 views. So for two YouTube channels, the stuff that I love, and with the help of you guys in both of these little situations, we almost got we're looking at over 300,000 views on two podcasts. And the only reason why, ladies and gentlemen, I had to switch it up because the algorithms don't catch Steeler stuff and wrestling or whatever. That's the only reason why, because everything that I talk about, I download before we get out of here. It's on the Triple B Experience audio format. Everything. Steeler Dynasty podcasts, interviews, our top 10 shows on Thursday, and we talk pop culture. Everything is on the Triple B Experience audio. So you can get everything, all of it on one shop. And like I told Shane last week, I'm doing by the grace of God. Last week we did like 500 downloads or 400 downloads on the podcast itself. So stuff's without your guys' help coming on and adding your expertise and this chat, this community is so cool. Because before I get out of here, my buddy Fabian's, my boss's son bought tickets to Ireland to the game. His buddies, he bought his tickets, his Army buddies. He's in a service in Germany. And this community is something else. Well, his buddies fucking ditched him with 2 fucking Steeler tickets in Ireland. Real good friends. So he messaged me, and he's been on the Dynasty, Joey Lawrence. He's been on the show.
Yeah.
He's been watching the show for a while now, and he watches this show too. But he contacted me. He's like, "Hey, Bubba, I'm going to Ireland by myself. I have nobody to hang out with in Ireland." You know what I mean? He's a young kid, in the military by himself. His buddies fucking bailed on him. You know what I mean? And I said, hold up today. It was just today. Because his mom and his stepdad, I'm friends with. Yeah. So, and I said, hey, let me contact Mark. I said, Mark's in Ireland right now. I said, look, he goes, I just want somebody to hang out with, Bubba. He goes, I got 2 tickets. He's going to try to sell them. And then also Kenny Meyer of Kenny Meyer, who's been on the Steeler Dynasty podcast from Windber, Pennsylvania, is over there too. So I contacted Kenny through Facebook, and I gave him, I told Kenny, and I told Mark, and I told Joey, I said, hey, just contact those guys on Facebook. Contact Mark on Steelers Nation Australia.
Yep.
Through the messenger, and Kenny. And I think Mark said he got a hold of him. So they must have worked stuff out because he's coming from Germany to Ireland tomorrow. So, and I'm going to check on, see how, you know what I mean, stuff's still set up for tomorrow. I'll check to see, because that's, but this community stuff here, I'm telling you, I'm sitting in fucking Torrance, Pennsylvania, and I was, his stepdad fucking asked me if, told me the situation. And I said, you know what? I said, your kid just texted me, Facebook me. You know what I mean? So the power of the Steeler community chat and being on these podcasts and networking and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So he's going to be able, hopefully, to hang out with Mark and have a good time. And his friends who ditched him, not buying his Steeler tickets, and he bought them for him, I wouldn't want to be friends with him. But I just wanted to throw that out there. The power of this community is, I told Tammy, I said, Tam, I'm sitting in Torrance and I'm hooking up stuff in Ireland. And what's the funny part about it is, guys, I'm talking to people in Ireland from Torrance, PA, in my, whatever. They're getting back to me fucking so quick. But when you try to get a hold of somebody 5 minutes down the road, nobody talks to you. So, but I just wanted to throw that out there before we get out of here. But
that's a great story, Bubba.
It's true, man. I mean, I try to help anybody out I can. And you helped Mark out when he came back, when he came over and he had no fucking clothes and it was fucking 25 degrees.
Baggage lost.
Yeah. I mean, you helped him out. So, and I know, Cable, you've helped out people numerous times before, but yeah, I've never seen anything in a chat community in my entire life where people just fucking help people out. And I appreciate, everybody, plays tonight and gives their top tens and stuff. And they take the time to come on here and hang out with us, talking pulp cultures or talking Steelers or talking whatever, so I appreciate that. Now, tomorrow it is. It's wait till the Christmas cards come out, for the membership on the other show. But tomorrow night, I'm going to do wrestling. It's not real popular as it used to be, but I'm going to try, because I'm going to keep trying to get this channel, to get some, to try to get it to 4,000 hours. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to put some interviews out and see if I can do that and just put stuff in my book and my planner. But next week, we'll do top 10 Marvel team-ups, talk about Peacemaker, talk about other stuff. But Shane, thank you so much. Cable, thank you so much. Guys in the chat, from Devil to Afton to Gene to Steelers 46 chick, thank you guys so much. And everybody, Rich Smoke, anybody that popped on, I appreciate it so much. I never thought doing these podcasts would, I'm telling you, it's something else.
Roy was in. Yeah,
Roy, I'll see you at work, brother. Roy, when we do the DC stuff, Roy's the fucking expert.
I like DC. I like DC.
Any fucking dude that's got a Green Lantern fucking tattooed and shit, he knows. And he's I think he has the first appearance of Metamorph Man in a comic form. His dad's birthday today, and God bless his dad. His dad was a big comic book wrestling Steeler. I mean, he was a rock and roll dude. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, and that's where Roy got stuff from his dad, and it just works out. And Roy knows his DC shit, and so if I ask him questions at work if I don't know it, you know what I mean. So, but I appreciate you guys as always. We will see you guys next Thursday at 9 p.m. Wrestling Talk tomorrow at 9. We'll see how that works. If not, I'll just shoot it from the side. But also Sunday, myself and Shane will have my wife come in and give her a little bit picks there. She's doing pretty good. We'll see how she does this Sunday when the Minnesota Vikings face our Steelers in Ireland. So good night, everybody. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cable, Shane, thank you guys. Have a great night. Let me get to the –
Good night.
Good night, everybody.